Better this time.
It's okay. Okay, we're recording.
Namaste and welcome.
Namaste.
So we come to the halfway point of the Reiki Way, and we've done the foundational tools, and there's been sharing about how to give treatments, and now we're halfway and we're ready to start the transcendental tools from the next video. So this is quite a big step. There's quite a change in the atmosphere, in the quality of the introspection that you will come across in these later tools, and to support you in your decision for if you feel you wish to take this second half of the Reiki Way. I have a dear friend here who's taken the Reiki Way from the start to very nearly the end, and he's agreed to say some words about his experience on what it was like to decide to follow the course and commit to it, and how he felt about Reiki before he started and how you feel about it now. Okay. If that's okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a huge amount of idea about what Reiki was when I started on this journey right back at the beginning. It all happened with an experience I had in South Africa when I was abroad doing a trip supporting schools out there in Cape Town. And all my friends had gone off, during this little break we had to go and have massages and all the rest of it. And they all, there's a centre, a sort of holistic centre, and they all had their massage treatments given to them. And I was, I really wanted a massage, it'd be really, really good. And I found this one place at the end, and it said massage here. So I sat down and I said, like a massage, please. Sort of a holiday treat to oneself. And he said, okay, lie down. So I lay down. And then I said, do I have to take my top off or anything? He said, no, you just keep your clothes on. I'm not going to touch you. I said, what? You're not going to touch me? He said, yeah. So it turned out that he was a Reiki practitioner, unbeknownst to myself. And I thought, just go with this. Okay. I thought he was completely barking mad, completely loony. And I lay back and I just thought, just go with it. And it has to be one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had.
I didn't know
that. Yeah, I haven't told you this story. And he started off by sort of working on my aura, he said. He said, I'm going to charge your aura. And I was like, yeah, of course you are. But there was this warm blanket of love, is the only way I can describe it, a re-energizing force which fell over me. And I was so excited about it, and it was actually doing something, this sort of revelation that something was happening from the physical and the personhood level, that I was sort of telling him, I can feel things, I can sense things. And he said, yeah, I know. And it was quite profound. He started putting his hands over various meridians over my body. And I just had gone through a really, very bad breakup. As far as I was concerned, then it was the love of my life. And I was in pieces at the time anyway, but it just unfurled this knot within my stomach and this pain which had attached itself to me. And it was just unfurling that ball of pain and worry, and allowing that energy just to fall back away into my body as far as I could see at that stage. and I was high as a kite for a good 2-3 days afterwards. I felt like my perception of the physical world wasn't seen through my eyes, but it was experienced somewhere sort of up here. I was above everything. I was on cloud nine. Life was amazing. And then I had a great time. I mean, it was just incredible. Just incredible. I got on the plane, flew back home, and that's when things started to go quite awry for me. So I thought I'd got over all the sort of the hells of, you know, the not the hells, the you know, the difficulties in life. I sort of overcome them through being clever, intellectual, and physically strong, or whatever it may be. And I got back in it, and everything went wrong. My car had been broken into. It'd been wrecked, and it was taken away by the police, and I had to get it from a pound, and I had to pay for the fact that, you know, I had to pay to get my car back out. And then I had problems at work like you would not believe, and then there was, and it was, I thought that wonderful joy, that wonderful experience I had in South Africa was gone. And, you know, if you start dealing and working with Reiki, that these somewhat seemingly disastrous things could happen to you.
And is that mirrored by what happened when you started reading Patanjali and doing Reiki?
Yeah.
Same.
Yes,
same.
you're right. Yes, so I was a bit naughty. I started to really read the Patanjali, and you told me only to read the first part of it, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah.
And so, in my ignorance, I read the whole thing, and it caused me to have some undesired effects, because it was, I wasn't ready for it then. From the point of the personhood, I wasn't ready for it, because I needed to clear away all my previous attachments so that I could at least comprehend it on an emotional and feeling level, not an intellectual level, which can be a curse.
So you went through like a crisis, a bottoming out.
I did.
And then you come out the other side. And then you started the Reiki Way course.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, because, you know, I had those experiences that were really quite dark and negative. Well, we saw negative, we know that's all you know, a perception of the mind, or a label. And so I thought, this is dark stuff. This is not to be played around. And you were
quite scared, because I remember you said
absolutely petrified.
Some lady warned you off.
Yeah, quite a few people have warned me off.
Warned you off starting.
And coming from a Christian background of, you know, be good and do this and blah blah blah, I thought, you know, am I sinning? Am I going to go to hell for this? Because, you know, you talk to some people, that's how they, that's as far as they're concerned, that's what's going to happen to you. It's going to end terribly. But what I've come to realize is that this was fodder, this was food to actually get to where you need to be, which is to reach a level of awareness that these are gifts. When things go wrong in life, they are gifts for you to grow. 100 million billion %. Now, you guys at the end of your computers there, or cameras or phones, whatever you're watching on, you might think I'm completely bizarre by saying that, and from your experiences in life and your understanding of pain and suffering, why would anybody want to bring those things upon themselves? Well, actually, it's not you bringing those things onto yourself. They're going to happen anyway. And if you follow a path of light, and these things come along, they are to help you grow. And there's nothing evil here. There's no bad intent. And now I can see it for what it is. And I'm just not the same person anymore. And I'm really happy that I'm not the same person anymore, because my perception of the world and myself was that small. And now it's just, there are no horizons. And so, yeah, Reiki has transformed my life. And I'm really glad that I made the plunge. I jumped off that chasm when I thought this is a stupid idea. Things can only get worse. And there's been some difficult times which I haven't even discussed on camera here, which you're aware of, that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. But it wasn't Reiki as such that brought them upon myself. It was my attachments within my mind and my cultivated sense of identity and ego, which is putting those blocks and those difficulties in place in the first place. And so it's unpicking the misinformation and miseducation of yourself for your life, to then becoming going and coming to and coming from where you should be. And there's only this place. So I could talk about it for hours, you know, all the different experiences I've had, but I cannot recommend it. I cannot recommend it more. It's transformative, and in a really positive and wonderful way. Now, when I look back about my fears, about my worries, my doubts about the future, or I don't know, have the worst things happen, the worst catastrophes, I look back and I kind of giggle, because they're just so small, and the awesomeness and the wonder and the expansion and the joy and the love that is expressed through you and in you and around you, all through your life, not just through when you're having a Reiki treatment, but from when you wake up in the morning to when you go to sleep, and whilst you dream. It's there, and you are it, and it is you. So thank you. Good question.
Well, what can I say to add to that? Absolutely nothing. But
yeah.
Thank you very much for watching
Namaste.
this, and thank you, Bruce, for being open to share that.
Yeah. And good luck with your journeys, guys.
Thank you.